Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue, Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the business, the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-world champion, a multi-champion, a legend, and icon to the Call of Duty space. Give it up for Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. And then, of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer of The Flank, Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? What's going on? Long day, long weekend. First couple weeks are finished. And then we got the holidays coming up. How you guys feeling, man? Sam, we'll start with you. You doing all right, Sam?
Feeling great, man. My team's sitting pretty right now. We got the first sets of matches done, so we got a little bit of a break. I'm feeling good. Good day.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Duarte, how are you? Duarte, you doing good, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I've been quite entertained with this league so far. Obviously going into the season, everyone was talking about how three teams are going to run the show. But clearly that has not been the case. I feel like a lot of teams have been making a case for themselves as being pretty damn competitive. And I feel like among a couple of standouts, anyone could win this minor going into it. This after the break. So I'm excited, man. I've been pretty hyped with the way COD's been going right now.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't agree more. I feel like this year we're actually seeing like the league being competitive from like top to bottom, where we're not really seeing like it being as top heavy as usual. I mean, you still see the top teams like at the top. Well, not all of them. But it's cool to see like people actually fighting back, Chris. I agree.
They seem beatable.
Yeah.
Do you think that lasts? Do we think that lasts, though?
We'll see, Pat. I noticed that you've been doing a really good job staying still. I mean, you didn't even move yesterday on the show. You stayed completely still the whole entire time. It was quite impressive, Pat.
Stoic.
You asked me to lock in, Tom. I'm locked.
Yeah, I can tell.
Man, maybe a little too locked.
I'm focused.
Definitely. How you doing, Pat? You doing good?
I'm doing good. I actually, a little wager was won on today. I had to make sure that I was confident in my picks. I just thought today was a good day to lock in a little 4 parlay with the 4 teams, the 4 favorites.
Nice.
Nice little cash
it went
turnaround.
Through, Pat. That's always good, man.
Oh yeah.
Congrats, man. It's good work.
I was a little nervous when a couple of the game 5s, but I mean.
Hey, bro, there's been a lot of game 5s this year. To be fair, it's been fun to watch. Ben, I see you over there, Benjay. What's going on? We've been watching the games together. Yeah, you doing all right, Benjay?
Yeah, I mean, good coffee and COD sesh today. Tottenham absolutely destroyed Southampton, and Southampton fired their coach. That was W. The Giants W-tanked today. They are well on their way to their first overall pick. I don't know. When New York Rangers suck ass, I mean, that's not a surprise. But, the COD was good, and we've got a pretty interesting minor bracket we'll talk about at the end. And unfortunate, I think this is our last gameplay show for a minute, but I think what we're going to try and do a show next week. Do a little tier list or pre-holiday show, you think?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is the holidays, so, maybe we'll take a little break too. We'll see what's going on. Maybe we can squeeze in a show during the holidays. I'm down for a tier list episode, and we're also after, we don't need to do fantasy yet, but after Major 1, we're definitely going to have to do fantasy again.
Yeah.
We will get a fantasy update at the end of the show, and we'll also take a look at the bracket, because we have the minor event coming up, which is going to be pretty cool. It's a single elimination online tournament. It's going to be all the pro teams, and the seedings basically are going to go off of the standings, which we'll take a look at as well. But at first, we got to go through the matches and give our thoughts. So we'll start with the first match of the day. We'll get right into it. We start things off with Toronto Ultra, kicking things off with the Miami Heretics. This one goes all the way down to a last map. Ultra come out swinging. They win the first 2. Miami are able to bounce back. We had a close map 4. And then I'll be honest, Miami, they battled their way all the way through to get here to a map number 5, and they let us down in the map 5. Their S&Ds have been really rough. Oh, Jesus, mud on. It is nearly a red carpet for the Miami Heretics. Lucky only one that's in the green, and he's positive. On the other side, a 1.14 from Kleenex. He continues to shine. You got a 1.05 from Beans. Got almost or over 13,000 damage. Everybody pulling weight. Inside Joe. This team is playing really, really well. Pat, we'll start with you with Toronto Ultra and Miami. What were your thoughts? Kleenex, obviously the tissue with an issue. Is your match MVP here. What were your thoughts on the series, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, it was a clean series. I heard you guys talking about I think it was during the Ravens series. You guys were asking who's like your stage 1 or so far MVP.
Yeah.
In the first 2 weekends.
Who is your stage 1 MVP, Pat? Who do you give
I
it
think
to?
it's Kleenex. I think there's a lot of people that could compete, but I didn't hear you guys say Kleenex, and I think for me at least, he's dominated every series that they've played. They haven't lost. He's been by far the best player on this team. And in my opinion, probably one of the most improved players comparing to last year. Not even that he was bad last year. It's just it seems like he's in takeover mode so far. So, I think Kleenex is continuing to roll, and interested to see how they continue to do so.
Yeah, I definitely want to get everybody's stage one, or at least first 2 weeks, right? Who's the MVP for you guys first 2 weeks? I'll go first. Well, after Pat, of course. I'm gonna go with Slasher. I feel like Austin. We haven't seen Austin consistently slay like this in a while. So to see him back on his bullshit is really cool to see. And obviously Carolina hasn't dropped a series yet, so they've been really fun to watch. So I'm actually gonna give it to Slasher. I think he's been insane to start the first 2 weeks of the CDL. But Duarte, what about you? Who's the MVP for the first 2 weeks for you?
This is hard. I think I'm gonna lean towards Gwyn. He's just been fucking consistently frying. I think you're getting the best out of Gwyn this year, right? Or at least currently, their team's been playing really good COD, and I feel like they have some structure. And I feel like we don't talk about it enough, but like with Ravens, the way they're playing, bro. Yeah, they're beating all these teams, but they just fundamentally look like they are way better than every other team. Like whenever you look at the retakes and search, because they're good at search and they're good at hardpoint, it looks like everything is so planned out accordingly, and everything just works out like exactly as like a plan. Like you can see like all their arrows and like what they're doing, and I feel like this team is just playing really well. And Gwyn obviously is just frying.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
I was gonna say TJ is another like honorable mention, obviously, because I feel like especially these last 2 matches this weekend, TJ has been fucking frying in every game mode, S&D and hardpoint. Mm-hmm. So,
yes, sir. Sam, what about you, Sam? Who's your MVP? I have a feeling you're gonna say Bruce. Is that who you're going with, Sam?
No, I was gonna give it to Ant.
Giving it to Ant. I feel like it's like kind of you could pick either of them.
I think you could go either one and have a good case, but I think I'll go Ant.
What about you, Benjay?
I think I'm gonna go.
Who impressed you, Benjay? Who impressed you?
I think I'm gonna go Ant. I think last I checked, he was either top or first or second in KD. Obviously, the volume and the damage is there as well. And I think amongst sort of the roster issues that they've had, Ant's been a pretty constant in all of their series. And I expect with Optics Draw that they're gonna go pretty deep in this Minor 1 tournament.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can fix my webcam live on show, dude.
I didn't want to share answers, but I would say like if I didn't pick Win, I was gonna pick Kleenex too. Just because that guy's been fucking actually every series. I'm surprised that
he's been disgusting.
Well, it's actually kind of surprising as like we're sitting here talking about like I guess like current MVPs, and we haven't like even though like LAT is probably touted as one of the best, if not the best team right now, just because we can see them actually making it far in a tournament, even if their like games have been pretty close. We didn't like mention any of them as like an MVP. Isn't that crazy? Is that just because they're all playing good COD, or is there something else?
I mean, I went with Slasher just because he's been standing out to me. Like I just feel like every time I watch Carolina play, he's sticking out. I mean, I can choose like 5 players for who I think could be MVP. It's just it's just kind of like who impressed you, right? Like who's somebody that kind of you didn't expect, or at least for me, I didn't expect Slasher to be playing how he's playing. But I mean, you can give it to Dashy. Kleenex is a good shout. Nero, I feel like nobody said Nero. Nero's another good shout. He's been unreal for the ROKKR.
If their team's been able to convert, if they've been able to convert more wins, Nero would have definitely been a shout for sure. Yeah. But he's been frying, yeah.
But let's get back to the series. Ben, we'll go back to you here. Obviously, we got Pat's little take here. But Ben, what about you? We got Toronto 3-2-1 all the way down to a map 5. I think Miami are definitely struggling in the S&D.
I can't talk, bro. Ninja chalked me.
It chalked you? Just join in, and even if it doesn't work, Sam, I'll throw your picture up there.
Sure.
I'll throw a little Sam LaRue picture up there.
Slowly.
What is with these part-timers not having cameras, man?
No,
it's just Ninja, bro. I'm not
Sam's
hearing
got a
this.
weird. Sam's USB ports are fucked. Is basically
my PC don't fuck with Ninja, man.
Nah, he's got gimpy USB ports.
I keep freezing in Ninja too for some reason.
Yeah, for sure.
we'll look into it. Obviously, Pat is still locked in right now. I think my thoughts on the series, I mean, are not too dissimilar from what was said. Like, obviously, Toronto, great start. Toby's frying. The S&D looks great. I will say that Miami, if they can solve their S&D issues, they look really great on vault control. So it kept them kind of in this series. That Skyline was pretty gritty. But we had no faith in them in that game 5 because of how the red card went. The history, we've seen them on S&D this stage. They got to, I think I hit it perfectly at the end of the show. They got to hit the wagers. They got to get this S&D grind. They got a matchup against FaZe coming up, first round of the minor tournament. FaZe are obviously playing kind of iffy. S&D could be big in that series. If they don't clean it up, they're going to be out early.
Yeah, Sam, what were your thoughts? I mean, what do you think's going on with Miami's S&D right now, Sam?
Brother, these aren't even close. I can't pinpoint one thing. I mean, we saw them against Boston the other day where that skyline, their mid rounds just look kind of off. But I mean, today they won 2 rounds in 2 searches. They just got kind of dismantled a little bit. So I mean, truth be told, I can't really pinpoint one thing in the mode. That's just the worst picture possible. That's just the worst picture you could have chosen. There's so many other pictures that you could have picked.
He's setting you up, bro.
Dude, it's the only one that was a PNG. All your these ones
Honestly,
are web files, bro.
I would have rather had like an open box of Krispy Kreme.
You can embed web files.
No, this was peak LaRue, bro.
I don't even look like
I'm
that.
pretty sure you can.
This was Seattle Surge.
Put that next to me. On God, put that next to me. I don't even look like that.
So Sam, I'll give you a stat. So Miami has played 7. They played 7 S&Ds.
I'm getting fucking hoed.
They've gotten first blood in 51% of those, and they've only closed out 51% of those rounds. There is your issue with Miami. You're getting first bloods if you're Miami, but you've got 31 and you've only won 16.
That's better, man.
I will tell you their issue,
a different
bro.
person.
Like obviously their first
15
blood
and
conversion
7
rate,
maps
like
is crazy.
Like you're giving the stat breakdown. I respect it. 100%. You're right. But dude, you watch this team play Respawn. They fly. They fly together. They push pace. You watch them play S&D, brother. These guys turtle up and lick walls. They
100%.
drool on themselves in search. Can these guys just group up and play like the fucking BO4 Heretics and just fly together? Especially when they get this man advantage. Like they play like actual hamsters in search. They need to start moving. They're so good at Respawn. They take the Respawn philosophy and just transfer it to search. Start running around, bro. Please.
I was actually saying the same thing. I feel like when you watch Miami play Respawn and then you watch them play S&D, they almost look like a different team between the Respawn game modes and the S&D game modes. Apply the same concept you're doing in Respawn to S&D because it seems like they're shitting themselves in search. Like they're not really active in S&D. They seem like pretty one-dimensional and they get caught a lot. Just get caught in the side, caught in the back. Like I want to see these guys moving as a unit in search. Almost like Boston Breach. How Boston's been playing. I would love to see Miami play that way, especially with the talent that
and that's how they played
roster.
last year. They were great last year in search at times. They had a little bit of dip in the middle of the year, but the way they ended the season in S&D was great. They were running around together, a lot of assists, team shots, but right now they just look kind of lost.
Yeah, you think Vickel's got a big part of that? I mean, Vickel obviously was on the team last year. He was kind of a guy for a big S&D player for him. Maybe Vickel was a big loss for them in that game mode.
Yeah, I mean, Rancor's a rookie. Maybe it's just a little bit of a learning curve. I don't know. Not even necessarily on him, but more so just how the team is meshing together.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely an angle for sure.
And then, of course, on the other side, Toronto Ultra looked pretty comfortable. Again, I was talking about it on a past show, but Joe Thieves, in my opinion, has been like such an impact for them. I don't want him to go like under the radar because Kleenex has been frying. Like this guy Joe on the map just makes such impact plays, whether he's hitting lanes or popping a 2-piece somewhere or getting a blood somewhere. He's just annoying to play against. There was a big play today when on the Vol hard point where he was able to get through on a P4 and stay alive. He went on a little bit of a spree. Just making game-changing plays, whether it's with his routes or with his gun skill. I love what I'm seeing from Joe right now. But what do you guys love from Toronto, Chris? What about on the Toronto side?
Well, Kleenex continues to fucking fry.
Yeah,
I feel like
he's
Beans
insane.
has been playing really, really consistent. And Joe has been doing his thing as well. Like, I don't know. We haven't seen Jamie play this like consistently since like maybe like this good as like a peak since like I think like Major 1, Stage 1 in Modern Warfare 3. But like he needs to be able to keep up this consistency because he always starts off the year pretty hot. So I'm kind of not concerned, but I'm waiting to see if like eventually he falls off. I don't think he will. I feel like him and Joe complement each other, and I actually feel like him, Joe, and Beans all complement each other. Like the way they play. Beans is again very aggressive, so he's always in there putting down damage and stuff like that. And he often has the most damage on the team, even if Kleenex is popping off. Like that guy is literally always in the mix. So I don't know. That core 3 is just really good. They mesh well, and then Jamie is kind of their safety player, and on top of that, he's just really good at search. So. Yeah, I like this team a lot. I've said it when they formed. I was like, I think these guys are going to probably be underrated, and they've continued to be good. So yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, what about you, Sam and Ben? Obviously, Toronto Ultra get the dub. We've been gassing them up pretty hard. I think the chemistry looks good with these guys. Any thoughts on Toronto or the series as a whole? Any final thoughts?
Anything out of you, Benja?
No, I think Toronto's played pretty clean for Miami. I said my thoughts, and Toronto is on a tough side of that minor bracket. Same with Miami. So I guess there's a possibility we see a rematch with these two. But yeah, let's move on.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on to the next series. Toronto get the dub over Miami. Miami are now 1-3, and Toronto Ultra are 4-0. So Toronto Ultra are yet to get a loss here in the CDL. So good work from Toronto. Let's move on to the next series of the day. Finally, we get a win on the board from Atlanta FaZe. It's a 3-1 victory against the Vegas Falcons, who remain winless in the first 2 weeks of the CDL. Atlanta FaZe were able to dismantle them in the hard points, take them down in the S&D. The only map they threw away was the Vault Control, which, again, in my opinion, just some of the mistakes that FaZe are just making on the map is just they're making mistakes I don't normally see them make, and it's kind of frustrating to watch. Even with them winning this series, there's still a few things that I saw that I thought that FaZe, like, they still need some work. And obviously, this is the first respawn for the Falcons as well, is it not, guys? The first respawn for them.
Yeah.
So clearly, Vegas, I'm sure they're feeling good about a map win on the board, but just wasn't enough. Yet again, it's nearly a red carpet for the Vegas Falcons, and it's Kicks, who again is shining for this roster. Kicks is always, bro, he is always cooking. He's always frying. I don't know if it's just nobody else is getting kills and he's just cleaning up and he's just going rogue. This team only has one SMG player also. But
Bro,
go ahead,
I'm
Chris.
not going to lie to you. I'm going to give them the formula right now, especially with what they have available. All right, listen. I was watching some challengers.
Okay.
They went last map. Their challenger team went last map with Arcity's team. And for those of you guys that don't know, Arcity's team is Hook's old challenger team. So, like, clearly their challenger team kind of can shoot, right? They took the best shot, one of the best challenger teams last map. So obviously not all hope is lost there. These guys need a roster revamp. They need to keep Kicks. They need to keep Xnid, have Xnid run an AR, be the aggressive AR. Because you can tell that Xnid, he sets pace. Just make him be the aggressive AR, and they need to get 2 subs from their academy roster, or even a sub and AR and mix it up some other way, depending on what they want to go. Listen, I'm all with giving them time. They can keep the region. They can do what they do, because clearly the region, the players there, they can shoot. They got to learn. But like when it comes from a talent top-down perspective, I feel like from watching them so far, the two that have promise right now in terms of talent are Kicks or Khalid and Xnid. Keep those two and just go into your young challenger roster and sub them in now, because clearly at least your challenger team can shoot, and on top of that, you get some people that fit the roles that you need. Because right now your roles don't make sense, and Abadi for the most part is not playing, or I don't know how to say his name, but Abadi has been getting crap done.
Yeah, but I feel like he's got the Max Seattle Surge treatment. That's what I feel like. King Abadi's kind of like for instance, he's the only one who takes routes on this team, Chris. He's the only one who even tries to do anything. Now, granted, he can't get a fucking kill.
I don't want to shame his game too much, but sometimes his POV looks like Doug. No bullshit. So get him out. Get another sub in there.
That's all right.
Get another sub in there that can shoot and set some pace. I get it.
Doug's
he's trying to do a lot, but like, bro, I'm telling you right now, Kicks and Xnid, if you were going to keep people from this team and build around them and maybe try to find out better roles, those guys, you can tell, like, have the talent to be like good players in the CDL.
King Abadi,
from watching them.
King Abadi, he just needs to simplify the game. He's overcomplicating the game. Like when you watch his arrow on the minimap, he's just constantly looking left, right, running in circles. He can't sit still. Like he's kind of all over the map. And a lot of the times in situations when he needs to slow down and just play a corner, he's just running and just dying. And I think obviously with time he can get better with that, but hopefully they're working with him within the camp, because there was a few setups. There's a few times where I felt like he was kind of giving his life away too much. But Ben, we'll go to you. Vegas Falcons, they get one map on a board, but Atlanta FaZe, they're able to get the victory 3-1 here. What were your thoughts on the series, Ben? FaZe Falcons, what are your thoughts?
I thought 3 of the 4 maps were pretty clean from FaZe. Both hard points were a big skill dip. I think the S&D was pretty clean as well for a Skyline. But I think you need that if you're FaZe. Obviously, the control was a little bit sloppy, but they needed a win. They needed a clean series. This gives them a little bit of momentum. And, you know, it's how do you maximize the next 3.5 weeks, work on the issues that have gotten you to 1-3, and go to this minor tournament, try and get to semis or to the finals or win this, and then use that momentum to make winners bracket and go from that. And someone said, how is the S&D clean? You clearly didn't watch the same map I did. Skyline, you're never going to win fucking 6-0, 6-1. There's a lot of times and shit that goes down. But I really liked some of the entry plays from FaZe. I liked that they were actually closing out 4v3 rounds. I still think that Draza feels and looks a little bit uncomfortable in search. I think that's an area that he's got to work on over the next couple of weeks. But for FaZe, is a dub. You move on, and they got to build on this. Zach 1-7. That's real tough to see, man.
I mean, yeah, Zach definitely in the kill department's been struggling a little bit. FaZe definitely haven't looked like themselves, but at least they do get a win on the board, maybe get the momentum going a little bit. Sam, what do you think? What did you think about the series?
Do you agree with Chad, Sam, that this is a sloppy search?
I mean, it wasn't the best, but I mean, it was better than what we've seen from them. I mean, both
6-3 victory.
Tiny Terrors played great. It was a 6-3 Skyline. Chat's tweaking a little bit. Truth be told, I have zero changing opinions from yesterday to today about this team. They beat Falcons. We're comparing Simp and Abizi to Falcons, saying this is a good win. I completely disagree. We're holding this team to winning events. I'm not going to give them flowers for beating a brand new region in the CDO. Team needs to be better. They could have not played this series, and I would have had the exact same opinion. So I'm looking for them to show up to the minor before I make any more judgments. I think they look like shit.
Yeah, it is hard to gas FaZe after what we've seen, and then obviously they're coming in to the Falcons. I mean, we expected them to get the W here. I would think the only positive is the way that FaZe won the hard points is cool. Like they obviously, they basically 100-point clubbed them in both. So that was obviously a positive takeaway. But I agree, Sam. It's hard to gas them with knowing what they did. We need to see these guys come back and compete against the best teams, the top of the top.
Their
teams.
standard is winning events, bro, not fucking 100-point clubbing Falcons.
Yeah,
respectfully.
Agreed. Pat, what about you, brother? Atlanta FaZe 3-1 to get their first win on the board. Both teams were winless going into this series. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was a great win. I think they needed it.
They did need it for sure.
They needed it bad, and I think they're still my sleeper pick for my. Are we calling it? Just the minor? Is that what we're naming it? It doesn't have an official name,
That's
right?
what it is. Just called
minor
minor
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the minor tournament.
They're my sleeper pick for minor one. I think they're going to end up playing FaZe in round 2, and that to me, Thieves,
right? Yeah.
That's going to be that's going to be a big match, and I think they might surprise us here and take down the Thieves. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I agree with Sam. Like this team is being held to winning championships, but I just think they started slow. They played the current best 3 teams in the league. I think they'll bounce back and get back to form.
I saw that today. MC took that fucking stupid site off that he had. That weird red dot site. Which red dot site is that?
AccuFlex, AccuSpot.
Yeah, that one is ass, bro. I was happy to see him take that.
Wait,
shit
what are
off,
you talking about? Who?
Estriel's got that one on too, Tom. We got to get on his ass next.
Yeah, dude. Estriel, you're next, bro. Any pro player who's running that site, that shit looks terrible.
Circle,
go to map 4, by the way. Look at FC's stat line to map 4.
If you're not running microflex, you're just trolling, bro. Like we got to stop with this tweaking era of like this one's got less visual. No. On the damn microflex, bro.
MC sat in the hill for a whole map. He went 12 and 13. Everybody else on his team had basically almost 30.
12 and 13, 2.5 in almost 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was an interesting fourth map here from MC. Just doing his role, doing what he's got to do. Yeah, guys, I think with FaZe, like I want to see their consistency again, like with their decision making. Like when I'm watching them today, just even the control. Like there was a couple times they needed one tick on a B point today. They had a couple dead and they just ran past the point. They didn't even hop on it with one tick. They only needed one tick. I just feel like sometimes like the decisions again just looked like a little off. So I'm hoping that they can come back. Who do they have coming up, Ben? After the split or after the break?
I could tell you real quick.
Let me know who they have because I'm curious.
They have Carolina. Sorry, they play Carolina. They have Minnesota, Boston, and Cloud9, New York.
Minnesota, Boston, Cloud9, and wait, that's it. Minnesota, Boston,
that's it. And so my key takeaway when you look at those 3 teams right now is two of the 3 of those are like pretty good search teams, at least from we see in the beginning of the split. So like a FaZe, obviously, in S&D. They've been able to get bloods. They've just been trolling a lot of rounds in search. They can be more clinical like they were a little bit in the Skyline and kind of get more consistently respawn. They should get past these teams, and they're going to probably need to win out because I think the way the bracket is breaking right now, there might be a number of teams at 3 and 4. So if they go 2 and 1, it's just going to come down to tiebreakers, and it really suck to see this team play losers bracket off the rip at Madrid.
Yeah, I'm excited. We definitely got to take a look at the standings and the bracket and everything, see how everything's gonna play out. We'll do that after we go over all the matches. But any final thoughts here with Atlanta FaZe versus Vegas? Vegas get their first respawn on the board, but overall looked pretty comfortable for Atlanta FaZe. Any final thoughts, guys?
I gave blow it, bro.
I've gave Falcons free ball, bro. Get a body out at the very least. If you want to go like rogue, change out 2. Get rid of Roxas, get rid of body, get 2 of your young challenger players, and fit the right roles. Exnid and Khalid, they show promise. Those guys, you can tell, they move, they shoot, they have a decent understanding, but at least a body for sure. That guy's drooling on himself. No bullshit. I'm not sugarcoating it, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We got the Carolina Royal Ravens going up against the Cloud9 New York. This one ended in a 3-2 fashion. This was actually the first reverse sweep of the season. Sam, you called it during the watch party when they went down 0-2. Sam called it. He said, I could see a Carolina reverse sweep angle. And they did just that. They won 3-1 in the control, almost 100-point club doing a hard point, a comfortable 6-3 in search. Good to see Carolina bounce back. Obviously, they haven't lost at all yet in the first 2 weeks. And then you have Cloud9, who's currently 1-3. I think there was obviously some complaints coming in from their camp the first couple matches with some of the pings and stuff. And apparently they got that fixed. They got a dub on the board, and then they get the loss here to Carolina. So an unfortunate loss for them as they get reverse swept. We'll take a look here at the stat sheet. We basically got a red carpet here except for Kremp over on the Cloud9 side. Kremp with a 1.06, but everybody else negative. I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is Dante, is Sib. He's just having a hard time. Last year, he was just such a powerhouse slayer. And he can just roam the map, find kills. It seemed effortless for him. Like, finding kills on the map was just consistent every single map. Now I'm seeing the opposite. He is having a really hard time with this team. I don't know if he's not comfortable or if he just hasn't really found himself yet in this game, but he's been really struggling in this lane department. I don't really want to sugarcoat it. He's obviously a great player, got great mechanical skill. He was a very sought-after player as well. A lot of people were looking at Dante, in the offseason. I mean, he's a good player, so it's just not like him to see him struggling like this, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. We could start with you, Sam. I mean, Sam, what do you think's going on with Dante right now? What do you think's going on with Cloud9 as a whole?
I mean, I think both of their ARs have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think they're probably no. I think Kicks is better than both of them. I think they're probably the worst duo in the league right now.
Tatch and Sid have struggled. Yeah, both of them have struggled.
I think Kicks is better than both these guys. So yeah, they might be the worst duo in the league at the moment.
They are 2 of the bottom 3 in overall KD and hardpoint, and I believe control KDs.
Like they just look uncomfortable, and I don't know what to attribute that to, so I'm not gonna just say a random reason, but they just, watching them how they play on the map, Dante just looks like he's getting caught off guard moving around the map. I don't know if that's a product of him, just like you said, Tom, not really having his gear on this game yet, or as like a team whole issue. Maybe they don't know how to play Respawn on the same page right now, so like maybe he just feels uncomfortable on the map. I don't know what the reasoning is, but I mean, 101 deaths just tells me this guy's moving. He's just sprinting, running into setups, just trying to take impossible ones. Because I've played against Dante for many years. That guy chows the most unwinnable gunfights all the time. And when he's winning them, it looks great. And when he's losing them, it looks like this. So right now, it's just 101 deaths as an AR in this game is fucking insane. So he's running it down respectfully. He's literally running it down.
He is. I mean, look, you can see it in the engagements. And as an AR player, having 100 deaths like that, bro, he was going through it for sure. Ben, what about you? What do you think about the series? What do you think about Cloud9? What are your thoughts, Benjay?
For C9, I mean, Sam made the point. I think it's Dante's having a rough one, but we got to also put the spotlight on Dylan. He hasn't played great either. At least Dylan's search has been really good. I think statistically had a great weekend in both these matches in S&D, but the respawn has been real tough. And I just think it's so hard. We've seen this now in this game. If your ARs are just unable to get trades, these setups and these setups are not going to work. You're going to get pressured. You're just going to be stuck, having to do the impossible. I think for Carolina, well, I mean, it's in typical kind of comeback from them in this. These guys just, man, these guys just look so. Chris, I think you made a key point. They just look so composed. The way that they want to, especially do retakes in S&D, just these situationals. The level of discipline that we're seeing from Carolina, we don't normally see from a team with these guys early on. I think Reese has started to play a lot better this week, which is a nice turn of events for them because he didn't have a really good first week. Reese Vivid. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Carolina fan, first seed, I don't think anyone expected that.
I mean, the thing is though, dude, those first 2 maps they played against this team, like that, I feel like is their floor, and that's what scares me. Because like obviously these guys have came out of nowhere this year, and they've been able to put pretty damn consistently. Obviously, they're 4-0, and we've been praising them. But like those first two maps, bro, I was like, when I was watching, I was like, what the fuck is going on? These guys really look like they just never played the game or something. So I don't know. I'm still careful about this team. I want to see them have a good minor, and I want to see them have a good major performance before I'm kind of sold on this team being able to carry this forward for a while. But they've been looking good, man, for the most part. After those first two maps, they kicked into another gear, and they started looking like they played. They started looking like they did the last couple of matches. So, but yeah, these guys they genuinely just look like they are ahead. They know everything they want to do, and it feels like it works out every time.
I do agree, Chris. The first two maps, Cloud9 looked pretty comfortable. I know they brought it back on the Skyline, but for the most part, the first two maps were rough for Carolina. At least from watching, it looked rough. I know on the scoreboard, the first map looked kind of close, but Cloud9 was making good plays. I remember at the end of the game, Carolina, they had a setup going into Kitchen Hill. And I actually thought that could have been winnable for them at the end there. I thought Cloud9 was going to throw it away for a second because they had flipped out spawns. They ended up breaking through front. I remember Gwyn was pushed out. Kitchen, you know, if you guys remember the situation I'm talking about. I thought if they just played a little tighter there in that first map, they might have been able to take it. Carolina made an insane comeback in that one. Like, they almost did it.
Gwyn had 20 kills in 3 hills. It's probably Mac, excuse me.
Yeah,
he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we should definitely talk about the Carolina side. Gwyn has been unreal for these guys. I know last year was his first year, rookie season. This year he's really coming in, and I mean, he had 107 kills in this series. He had a 1.3. So obviously Gwyn has been showing out. Same with Slasher. He's been doing his thing as well. I mean, Pat, what are your thoughts with this Carolina team? You impressed by these guys or not so much yet? I mean, they are 4-0. So
I mean, they're 4-0, and they got some good wins. So definitely impressed. You know, I think this is kind of we've talked about Gwyn's potential in the past, and he's had his up and down moments. Like, if he can consistently play at this level, like, he's a huge threat to this league. So for me, you know, I think, Chris, I think you just said it. Like, they have, I think, like the best, most well-rounded team so far, at least from their performances. They've shown kind of like good at every mode. Obviously resilient. Right, well, Toronto's been like just dominant in S&D, and that's like been the backbone.
Yeah.
Like, but like
I'd say this team is more well-rounded in terms of the way they've been playing the game for sure.
Yeah, and they've also shown resilience, right? Being able to reverse sweep. So it's like they've kind of got all the things working for them right now. So yeah, I mean, I think the question mark for me is, you know, obviously let's assume they continue this the rest of the online. Can they carry this over to LAN? That's kind of the last question, I think, or the checkbox that I would be waiting for.
I think they can. As of right now, I could see Carolina being a better team on LAN, just how comfortable they look. I feel like teams that are fundamentally sound and make good decisions online are the teams who do good at LAN. Teams who kind of run around and they kind of rely on their gun skill and they look uncoordinated, but they win maps here or there and they win series here or there because of talent, or they're just winning fights. Like, I feel like when you go to LAN, like, teams like that get broken down. It's all about just fundamentals on LAN. No, Pat? I mean, playing the game the right way is important.
For sure. But I think that might be the problem is, like, we kind of all know this. The pace kind of shifts a little bit on LAN.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just kind of wondering if that's still going to play into their strengths. That's kind of my last question.
Yeah. It slows down, I think, on LAN a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, definitely Carolina looking really, really good here. Any other thoughts on the series? Before we move on to the next series, too, one thing I forgot about with the FaZe series, does anybody think that FaZe's comms are off?
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
They've always been off. When have their comms ever been like S tier?
FaZe's comms have always been weird.
And there was a few times today, because I couldn't remember what the hell it was, but it clicked in my head, and I remember it was the communication. There was a few times today where people were getting through, and people from FaZe were shooting at him or saw him, and then they just forgot about him. And he would just run. It happened on the Volt Hardpoint when I forgot who. I think it was Gwyn. Or sorry, on the Volt. Sorry, not Gwyn. Who was it? It was on the Volt Control, and somebody just ran right through. They saw him, and nobody turned around. I think MC got caught with his pants down.
It was MC was the one that
and I'm
turned around.
I'm like, dude, what is the comms like? We know how important communication is to when you're at this level, right? Like, you have to make sure that the small talk is on point. I mean, that was something I worked on in my career, like trying to work on small talk, because I used to black out and not talk. So, like, being able to, like, communicate things and being able to have a conversation in game is important. And I think that's really showing with Atlanta FaZe's game right now. Like, their communication might be off. That's one thing that with Carolina, like, when they went into the listening, Like their comms are really good. Like they're very calm. Everybody seems like they're on the same page. Everybody's arrows on a mini map are making the right plays. Just seems a little bit more coordinated, you know. So yeah, great job from Carolina. They get the 3-2 victory. Any final thoughts here, guys, on this series with Carolina and Cloud9? Who does Cloud9 have next, Ben? Because they're 1-3 right now. They need W's on the board. They're digging themselves a little bit of a hole here.
Yeah, so Cloud9's upcoming matches after the minor tournament, they have LAG, Miami, and Atlanta FaZe. So I think that ATO one last match could be kind of interesting, especially if Carolina run the table here, because it'd be huge for Carolina if they can get like a top seed and get veto control going into the major tournament in Madrid. But yeah, I mean, you got
I'm assuming we're going over the bracket
Yeah,
at the end of the show.
yeah,
For
we're
the
gonna
money?
take a look.
Apologies, these are Cloud9's opponents. Apologies, it's not Carolina's opponents. They got LAG, Miami, and Atlanta FaZe. So just to reverse that, 1-3 right now for C9. They got to win out. It's tough with that schedule.
Wait, say that one more time. So who?
That was-
Apologies, it was not Carolina's schedule. It's C9 schedule.
Yeah.
LAG, Miami, Atlanta FaZe, and they have to essentially run the table. They can maybe get in at 3 and 4, but realistically, they need to get to the magic number of 4 to guarantee winners bracket.
Yeah,
They have to win all these.
That LAG match is gonna be big too because they're winless as well. They don't have a dub on the board, so like,
Correct.
Yeah.
you know, some of these teams when they're facing off, like these wins are gonna be massive. They got to get some W's on the board here. But Sam, any final thoughts? Anybody else have any final thoughts here?
No, I just hope Ravens keep it up, man. I was a big fan of them. I've been pushing Ravens properties. I've keep saying on the show, so I hope they keep it up. TJ's been great. Gwen's been early season MVP candidate. Slasher's having himself a renaissance season after all that Boston bullshit from last year. And I think Reese is playing a new role to him that he's doing well so far. So I hope they keep it up.
Can I tack on one thing to what Sam said?
Yep.
For a team, it's funny how the break works for teams on opposite sides, right? You were just talking about FaZe, and they need to use the break to catch up to teams. I know Ant, Nameless, and Chad has talked about that on broadcast. But for a team like Carolina, who is clearly ahead, they have to not waste these 3 weeks and just be, they can't be complacent. Oh, we play great, and then just take a lot of days off, or the practice is not good, and suddenly you pull up to the minor tournament and you get upset after that bye, and now you're just completely lost. Like, they still need to maximize this time and guarantee that they have this kind of form at the event where they have an actual chance if they play like this way to win, I think.
I don't think Austin would let that happen.
I would.
I feel like
I
it'd
know
be on their
Austin
ass.
won't, but it's
They'll be
the
on
other
their
guys
ass,
got to
man.
control it
It's a
too.
team game at the end of the day. They got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens moving forward with Carolina and Cloud9, but let's head into the last series of the day before we look at the bracket here for minor number 1. The minor tournament, I think, is a really good idea, bro. It kind of reminds me of like the 2Ks and the 4Ks almost in a way.
It was
So,
needed, bro. This should have been a thing years ago.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know what took them so long, and I feel like they should do more of them. To be honest, like they should do as many tournaments as they can. But yeah, hopefully we get more of those. Excited to watch that. But let's tune into the last series of the day. We have LA Thieves going up against the Minnesota ROKKR. This one ended in a 3-1 finish in favor of LA Thieves. They are now 4-0. LA now 4-0 here in the first 2 weeks. Minnesota ROKKR 2-2. The only map that ROKKR were able to take was the second map, the S&D, which, by the way, was clinical from them. They steamrolled through that S&D. Got a close map 1. Honestly, the protocol was close as well. I thought for a second there the Thieves were gonna lose that map. I thought Minnesota ROKKR gave that one away. I actually thought ROKKR should have went up 2-1 in this series. I thought we were gonna see a map 5. And then of course we got the rewind hardpoint, which I'm gonna be honest, have Thieves lost that map yet? Have they lost
the
rewind?
FaZe.
Yeah.
They lost to the FaZe. They're really good at that map. I like the way they play that map. I feel like even if they're out of it or they're not winning fights, they still always find a way in the second rotation to win the game. And it's just the routes they take. Honestly, they win a lot of fights in those, like in the Gen Hill and like those mixy hills, but they also take really good routes. They're always thinking about those spawns. So they end up closing it out 3-1. We'll take a look here at the stat sheet. Everybody in the green for Minnesota ROKKR except for Estriel with a 0.85. And then on the other side, we had a 1.20 from Scrap today. Most damage in the lobby. Ghosty with a 1.02. Hydra negative today with a 0.90. You don't see that often. And then you got Envoy with a 0.91. Ben, we'll start with you on this series. LA Thieves, they go up, they win 3-1. They haven't lost a match, and they're looking really good. What did you think, Benjay?
I think the coaches' tweets after this series says it all. I don't think they were very happy with how they played in this one. They felt like, it was sloppy. The S&D in particular was not a particularly good map out of them. I think if you're Thieves, there's a lot of, you're undefeated. You're off to a great start with this new squad. You've had some quality wins, but they got a lot of work to do to try and finish off these maps in a better fashion. close people out when it's possible, and not like let people back into maps in series.
What do they tweet? What do the coaches tweet? Oh, I see it.
Yeah, just that they played sloppy, and
Yeah,
like
Shane
they've something
tweeted.
to
He
clean
said
up.
started playing a little sloppy towards the end of this week, but it's an incredible sign to still come out on top in those situations. The problems we've shown are the easiest fixes in the world, and after the break, we'll come back even stronger. Hashtag LA Thieves. So yeah, even they think they're not playing perfect, which I think is a good attitude to have, right? You're never perfect in COD. You can always go back and learn from the matches and learn from your mistakes and become a better team. But Sam, let's go on to you. These are obviously your guys. This is your squad. Were you impressed by their play today, Sam? Even though they didn't fucking rotate again on Rewind?
No. I mean, we've been touting them as the best hardpoint team, but they haven't had a clean hardpoint win since like they ping cheese the fuck out of C9. I mean, they're winning them, so that's great. But they're all close. They're clutching up when they need to. But this series, it kind of showed two different gears that this team has. They tend to let teams hang around longer than they should. And I think like the very end of the protocol control, when they won I think they won the round like 20-0 lives, like just absolutely slammed the defense and then took that into the Rewind and started out hot. Like that's the gear that we expect them to play at. And then there's also the other side, what is the first half of that protocol control and the vault search. So I think this team is obviously insanely talented, but they just have a lapse in judgment at times or just in-game mistakes during these matches that let teams hang around. And I think right now it's working. They're coming out on top, but that is not a recipe for success in the long term. So hopefully, going off of Shane's tweet, it's a quick fix over the break. But when they play quality opponents, series like this could have easily gone the other way.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this team is kind of momentum based sometimes. You can hear in their comms, like especially like they bring a lot of like intensity in their communication, and like I feel like sometimes they don't have a reset button. So when they're steamrolling, they're going to steamroll. When they're like, they start off slow or a map starts to get out of hand, I feel like their reset button is something that's going to be something that they need to work on. Like
They just
to
all like to
change it
chow,
up.
to be honest. They love challenge
Yeah,
this team.
they're a very momentum based team. Like guess you can just tell. So I feel like they're going to have to find a way to like reset themselves like mid map at times and kind of like gather themselves and start playing again. But also, on the Minnesota front, bro, I think Sam, we talked about this a little bit, but it feels like there's a couple of these teams: Boston, Minnesota, or maybe not even Boston. Actually, we'll give Boston a little bit more leeway here. Minnesota, Heretics, and Surge are no bullshit all the same team.
Yeah,
they are all literally the same team. You can sit here and talk about the problems that each of these team has with very minor variances, and they all apply to each other.
I mean, what would make them the same team? Like, what exactly do you mean by that, Chris? Like, can you expand on that?
They're all just inconsistent, or they all have like one weakness that kind of holds them back from like winning like series or like finishing up series. And in terms of like their players, like they just all have like inconsistent pieces that will like show up and like fry or show up and just be like mid or butt.
Well,
I mean,
go ahead, Ben.
Well, okay, so fun fact, trivia question for you guys. Minnesota, 2-0 on Vol Hardpoint. What do you think is the record on the other maps in the pool?
Oh, and whatever.
0-6.
There it
I
is.
think they got to expand that Hardpoint map pool. That's a little bit tough when you've only got win on one of those maps. But I agree with you, Chris. I think those teams may beat each other. They all have one glaring weakness they need to work on. I think over the break.
Minnesota. You just point out the Minnesota one. Heretics one's the S&D, and then Surge is what? Isn't it? Is it the control? I don't know if it's the control. I forgot which one. They have one mode. I can't.
They're
I
just hit or miss at every mode.
They're hit or miss. They're
3 and 5 in Hardpoint, 3 and 4 in Search, and 2 and 2 in
The thing is,
Control.
though, I do like Minnesota. Like out of the I feel like they are like competitive, and you do see like moments of like really good, especially from Nero. Like Nero's been really good for this fucking team.
Yeah,
Paul's been good in the searches. He's been icy, but like his respawns have not been that good. And then Estral, I think he had like one really good series, and Gio's been up and down too. So I don't know. This team, they're just inconsistent.
Well,
they could have gone game 5 today.
Yeah.
Like I think LAT did hit another gear in that control to win that map because that was ROKKR's map. Truth be told, we're not watching clips on the show, but bro, there was a round on Minnesota's offense. They got 4 dead, and they just did 4 different things instead of stacking a point. Like I think one went A. They like pushed through bottom mid into their house. Like there was a very winnable moment in that map. And I think that ROKKR is a good team. Like they slammed the search convincingly. Like that was not a close map. Those rounds ended in 10 seconds each, and they could have won the control. So I think if they're not playing LAT, this goes game 5, but I think they kind of just got bailed out by talent, to be honest with you.
If you were to rank these teams, the ones I said are all similar. How would you rank them? I would rank ROKKR, Miami. Literally, I think
ROKKR, Miami, Surge.
ROKKR, Miami, Surge, right?
Yeah.
But they're all like so similar in terms of like their struggles as teams. Whereas I think Minnesota have a better chance than the other two.
I will say, Sam, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. I was going to bring up the control because there were so many times Miami would get 3-4 dead in the control. They'll get kills, but they're not on the same page during the map.
They're on Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota. Like on protocol on an offense, they're getting kills, and you have one guy going to B. You have one guy pushing out their spawn. You have 2 guys going A. Like, what point do you want? You want B or A? And whatever point you want, play it together. Like, play around it. Try and work a stack. Like, try and play as a team. I just hate when people get kills in control and they're not on the same page. Like, they don't have the same objective. Like, they're all over the map. Everybody's kind of thinking something different. They're all playing as individuals. And I feel like that was a big thing in a control, bro. Sam, I know you said it, but that was something that I was complaining about a lot. Because every time they got the kills, they would just go to both points. And they wouldn't solidify a point. I actually thought they could have won the control. They started off the map really hot.
They should have won that map.
Yeah, they should.
It's just hard on, like, you know, on Invasion, for example, you could 3-1 that map on control and offense, and like it made sense because the map is so big and it takes so long to rotate over. But bro, you 3-1 offensive protocol and it takes them 1 second to get from one side of the map to the other.
The way you play protocol is like you can go to either side. Like both of them are fine to go to. Like there's not one you necessarily need to take first. A lot of people will think A is like, oh yeah, go take A. You know, it's the top side of the map, B's harder to get. But like you can execute on either site. You just have to push it out. So like if you're trying to take A, you have to push out grandmas and spawn them P2. Whereas if you're trying to take B, you push out P2 and spawn them like top grandmas and then just like cut mid off. Like they just were not organized to the point where they were like cutting off one lane and flooding the other. They were kind of just pushing everywhere. So
they're just worried about getting smoked top middle, and I think that's why they're trying to split both points. So they cut them off. But to your point, like they're not pushing out Lighthouse. To spawn them deep so they can try and get B.
I mean, it's the same concept on every control, right? Like if you're trying to cap the B point on Vault, right? You push out
the
R.
B spawn.
Yeah, you push out that spawn, you spawn them deep. Like that's what you want to do. I think the biggest thing is like the way ROKKR were playing. Like they play around those kills. Like they play around just slaying out. You know, the spawn kills especially. We saw Geo getting active in the spawn as well as Estro and Nero. All of them, honestly, we're getting pretty aggro on the spawn kills. That's really the only time I see some of these teams winning rounds. They have to World Star and drain all their lives to win these rounds when they could just stack points and just get on points. And also, when you get on points, the other team's going to start tweaking, man. I mean, that's how you force mistakes out of the other team, by getting on a point. If it just leads them to make decisions, they start jumping on point, they start rushing what they're doing, and it leads to the other team making mistakes. So I would like to see this team play around the objective a little bit more because I love what they're doing in the slaying department. I love how they're pushing teams back. I love seeing that aggression. I want to see them keep doing that. But they also have to remember, like, hey, this is an objective-minded game. Like, make sure we're playing around the objective. Make sure they're playing tight. And they'll solidify more wins, for sure.
I was going to say, you all, it's low-key meta in this game, like way more than any other game in terms of, like, your stacking and stuff like that. Like, there's a couple of these points that are really, like, shit if you just hard stack and you, like, turtle up on them. Whereas it's almost better now to kind of, like, play the kills, right? Or get on the point, right? If you get a bunch of kills, but once you know the pressure of the enemy team is coming, everyone get the fuck off and like get the kills. Then it's as you start to get kills, come back to the point. Like that, it works a lot more on this game than like any other game.
Yeah,
because some of these points are just like ass.
Yeah, agreed. Pat, what did you think of the series, Pat?
I mean, I thought it. I mean, outside the S&D, I thought it was a clean win. I mean, I just feel like this Thieves team. All right, tell me if I'm crazy.
Okay.
This Thieves team has so much hype. I feel like they almost have the same issue that I had as a viewer in some of the last year's games, where it's like you're not going to get the best out of this team when they're not playing the best teams. Like, this team was built to be the super squad killer, right? This team was built to take down the top 4 and be the top dog. And so I just think they can, they're going to have series where they play a little lazy, where they play,
they play down to their teams.
They just know like they're better than them. So they're not going to, obviously everyone's going to try and win, but they're not going to give it like the same effort that they're going to give when they play the Ultras, the FaZe, the Optics, the Carolinas, I guess. Now, so that's just kind of my opinion on this team, and it's hard for me to like look at some of their sloppy wins versus mid pack or low pack teams, just because of the personnel they have on this squad. Like, they're insanely talented. I think they'll be fine against the top teams. So these sloppy wins against
I mean, that's just all an ego thing. And if you guys know anybody on this team, they probably do have big heads to a degree in terms of like how they think of themselves and their team. So yeah, I mean, I guess I can see the opinion on that, but
They were.
I mean,
they were lighting up bodies.
Opposite.
But-
Yeah,
And
I agree with Sam.
I
could
know
see
for
it.
a fact that Dill is as well. That's the only reason I want to like disagree with that take, because Dill, I've teamed with him for 2 years. When he thinks he's on a better team, he wants to beat everybody 250-0. Like it's not
Well, you
like
said
he's
Dill, but
never
what about
playing
the other
down.
guys? Like,
I mean,
sure,
Dill's
that could be-
Dill's going to be a large focal point on the team, and he's
I
going to
know,
let
but I'm
everybody know
saying-
that.
The thing is,
I'm
though,
saying you could make that same comparison for like TP on our complexity team, but like, you know what I mean? Like it is one player having that mindset going to change
It
everything?
should.
Wait, there's
Eh,
also
did for our team.
players. There are also players on that roster. Like, let's be honest here, that will talk down to their opponents. And even if, like, let's say a team that they're playing is beating them or doing things that is like, you know, obviously like winning them games, they will talk down their opponents and be like, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're a bunch of brainless morons. Like,
Bro, I'm
like,
not giving this team any excuses, bro.
well, no, I'm not. I'm not.
giving
But
these
like
guys
to say they don't have that type of ego where like they leave themselves vulnerable to a degree to like being upset because they just think they're like automatically supposed to win these series, like, is just dumb. Like, I see Pat's point, but I don't think that is the sole factor as to why their series are sloppy. I see the point that I'm not totally agreeing with either of you.
What about you, Benjay? What about you over there?
I mean, I agree with Sam. Obviously they were all some degree of sick this week, but they were playing close hard points in the FaZe series last week as well. I think their last 6 hard points have been really close. So I don't think these guys have been playing clean. And since the strip, they've been playing like 8 minutes of a 10-minute map great, and then the last 2 minutes have been sometimes a struggle. And a lot of those they've closed out, but eventually you're going to go to land, and those aren't going to click. Those situations aren't going to break, and you're going to lose that one big gunfight, and you're going to lose early in a tournament. I think they have to clean it up. I think they have to have attention to detail, or they may learn an early lesson that their ego is getting in the way of them taking out some of these teams when they should, taking out some of these teams clean, or getting upset when they should be winning pretty easily.
It's a pretty common thing though for top teams to play down in history, right? History has shown that, like with some top teams kind of playing down to whoever they're playing. But I will say this, Pat. This team was definitely like you said, formed to take down the top teams. Without doubt, with the slaying power that they have. I definitely think those are the matches they're looking forward to. Like, I think they're looking forward to playing like the top teams and trying to show them like, you know, what's up. But these obviously look great. They're 4-0, so you know it's obviously a great start from them. And I thought ROKKR played well as well. I mean, I know they got the loss here today, but it's been cool seeing Minnesota ROKKR keep up with a top team, especially in the slaying department. When you see them keeping up in the slaying department, that's how you know this team can compete. It's just about the other things, the decision making, and you know, making the right plays around the map and playing as a team. Once they start solidifying that, which you know they are, they got Dan Looney in the camp, man. You know how Looney is. You know, he'll make sure everybody's on point, everybody's doing what they have to do.
You talking about ROKKR?
Yeah, I'm talking about ROKKR. Yeah, I feel like we know what's going on with because I was saying how ROKKR, they can keep up in this lane department. Like, these guys can shoot, all of them. So as long as they just clean up some little things, like I actually didn't think they played bad today against LA Thieves. I actually thought they looked pretty good.
To my point, Tom, they just got to diversify that hard play map pool. Like, I don't know if it's just not translating from scrims, but they got to grab wins on the other maps.
Again, dude, everybody's frying in scrims. I mean, even in the interviews when they ask them, like, you know, I mean, everybody's.
We're just not translating our practice.
Yeah, we're just not translating, right? Like, everybody's. I just don't get it. I don't get how
This
everybody's
is
so
the most
good in
base
scrims.
answer that everybody gives.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts, guys, before we look at the bracket here, going into the minor tournament?
Now that this bracket's spicy, pull it up.
Yeah, let's take a look at this bracket. I'm excited for this, man. This is the first minor tournament of the CDL that they're throwing. It's a single elimination, best of 5 online tournament. They are taking the seeding for this tournament from the current standings in the CDL from the first 2 weeks. And we got 4 buys from the top 4 teams. So it's going to be Carolina, LA Thieves, Boston Breach, and Toronto Ultra. Those are the 4 teams getting a bye in the first round. Let's take a look at our first round matchups. We got the Vancouver Surge going up against Cloud9. Winner will play Carolina. We got Optic Texas versus Vegas. Winner will play the Boston Breach. We got Miami Heretics going up against Atlanta FaZe. The winner of that will play LA Thieves. And then we got Minnesota ROKKR going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas Gentlemates. Winner of that will play Toronto Ultra. What do you guys think about this bracket? What do you guys think?
Bottom side is crazy.
What'd you say, Sam?
Bottom side of that bracket is insane.
Yeah, it is. You got FaZe, Thieves, Ultra, Miami, ROKKR. I think the only one, LAG has
LG might figure it out in a couple of weeks. Like, the bottom side is something.
Wait. Where's the bracket with the actual seeds, not just the color sorted bracket?
Do they have that? Did they post that or no?
He's trolling.
What do you mean? You want to see the seeds?
No, he's trolling because look at the bracket. It's color sorted. Top is blue, next is green, then the other one's like reddish orange, and then it's all purple. Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of crazy. That is kind of weird. Damn, that's kind of trippy. Now that I'm looking at it, that is weird.
Tom was like, "What,
bro? I didn't know what the fuck."
Relationship. It was Willow, bro. It was Willow, dog.
Bro, Optic got, I know college football playoffs about to kick off. Optic got the Penn State bracket, bro. Like, this draw, I think Boston still in search will be kind of a tough out for this Optic team. I expect the Optic to get past Falcons, but of all the draws that Optic could have gotten here, this was probably the easiest one for them.
You think it's the easiest one? So you think they're getting by the first 2 rounds here, Ben, or what?
Vegas for sure. Boston again. They gotta make sure they execute.
Boston could play Optic close, bro, with the way they're playing. If they keep playing how they're playing, I think Boston could do well.
It's gonna be about those S&Ds, bro.
Yeah, that's your all search.
Yeah, I would still probably lean more towards the Optic side, but I could see Boston putting up a good fight.
I don't think they want to lose to Boston again. That's the thing. You lose them twice in a month.
The map pool is going to be interesting because we know Boston is good at red card. And Optic
Hossie for this tournament.
Yes,
I think so.
Yes, I think Hossie. I expect
in every game. Is it every game?
Wait. So does that mean? Is Hossie just getting added, or are they going to replace something for this minor?
My expectation is that there will be an adjustment to the map pool announced next week. As for control, I think unless we were talking about this yesterday, unless the pros have a better idea, Hossie's coming in for control. I think the question is what maps are going to come out for hardpoint or
Why is
S&D.
Hossie control going to be a thing? Nobody is playing it, bro.
But Chris, this is the conversation we had yesterday. If they don't want Hossie control in, someone's got to come up with a better idea. That is the issue. If someone's got a better idea, please put it on Twitter. Please put it on Reddit, and let's discuss.
He's been doing that today, Slay. He keeps yelling at everybody, man.
I'm just passionate, bro. I'm just fucking passionate, man.
Yeah. Why are you yelling? Bro, I don't.
Nick Proto, don't tell me to shut the fuck up, man.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. You're fighting.
Ben, shut the fuck up.
Sorry, Nick.
I will say, the whole control thing is it is what it is, bro. We don't have a lot of maps. I think at this point they're just gonna throw it in anyway. Hopefully we can see some variety there at least. Even if the map is not the best, I think they can still make it work. I think you can still make Hacienda Control work. I just, it's just the way that some of the points are set up in the spawns. The spawns are a little weird on Hacienda Control. But again, like Ben said, there's no other solution, right? If there's another solution, whether it was another game mode, right? Or you do 3 hard points, which I know, Ben, you had mentioned 3 S&Ds. I would rather see 3 hard points. But we got to figure something out. I think they should just add it in anyway. And they're adding it in for hardpoint S&D, right? Like all modes?
Hardpoint S&D and control.
So,
it's gonna play well in hardpoint and S&D, right? That's.
I'm just curious what maps come out then. I'm curious because I think we would have all thought red card would be first map out. I don't really think
that map is great.
Yeah, so it might be rewind goes out in hardpoint, and then what search map do you think goes?
Is it rewind or is it protocol?
There's an argument for 3 different hardpoints and searches to go out. So.
Politics, baby. We'll see what the pros end up voting for.
It's gonna come down to votes.
Dicey.
We know how to.
Honestly, we need to stop removing maps. Just add it in and just have people go rogue in the vetoes. What does other maps still get played? You just have more options.
I'm trying to think about the AB team shit with that.
Yeah, if they can't figure out a map that everyone can agree on and it comes down to a niche vote, just add it to the map pool and have more choices after vetoes are done.
Yeah,
we've had 6 before, so that's facts.
Just saying.
What about Vancouver Surge in Cloud9? Winner of that plays Carolina, who's obviously hot right now. Who do you guys have taking that one? What did you say, Sam?
Literal coin flip.
You think it's a coin flip, Sam?
Complete 50-50.
I don't know if bro, can C9's ARs play the game? Like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
Is he gonna go fucking positive and hard point? I don't know.
There's a lot of what
Is
ifs.
gonna be good, or is he gonna blame Ping? Like, I don't fucking know.
I better see Dante and Dylan and Eights over the next couple of weeks.
They shouldn't blame Ping this one. I think they're playing on an LA server.
Hey, bro, Boozer said he can't get a kill from where they live. So
What about you, Pat? Who would you take in the Surge Cloud9? What do you think is going to happen there?
I got Cloud9.
Why?
So I'm not high on the Surge squad. We've talked about it every time we watch them play. I just think there's too many inconsistencies. I think this team needs a change. I don't really care about the ping situation. I'm just more confident Cloud9. And I do think Dill and Sib will step up in tournaments compared to how they've played so far in online.
You think come tournament time, they're gonna kick into another gear? You think?
This is not LAN, by the way, chat. Somebody in
This
chat
is-
said
tournament
Sib
is
should
online.
show up on LAN.
This is
not a
online.
LAN.
Yeah, guys, keep
This
in
is
mind.
a minor
this,
tournament.
This is an online tournament, single elimination, best of 5. All right, keep that in mind. And then I want to take a look at the bottom side of the bracket as well. We got Miami Heretics going up against Atlanta FaZe, which I actually think is going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a good one.
Wait, real quick, is there prize? There's prize, right?
Yeah. What is the prize pool?
Have they posted? Yeah, have they posted that? Like what the prize breakdown is?
I don't know if
I think
they
they just made
posted
the
a
points.
prize.
I think they just did the points thing. Right?
20K winner take all.
Oh, okay.
And then the interesting part is that the top 4 teams get paid or will get points. Those points do not go towards each like split, right? So use the points to do standings for the tournaments. The points will go towards like champs qualification at the end of the season.
Thank God
for
it's
teams-
winner take all, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to the league for doing that. I hate these dude, it used to be like first place would get like 50, 60%, but over time it just kept going down, bro. It just kept going down and down and down, and they kept giving more and more people prize money.
Yeah, I feel like it adds more to the table when you give it all to like the first place team or like the top 2. Yeah, it just makes people go harder as well. But we got Atlanta FaZe going up against Miami Heretics. I think this is gonna be a great match, bro. I mean,
That's gonna be good.
FaZe have looked shaky. Obviously Miami, they've had their ups and downs, but I think Miami and FaZe like currently, like after seeing both of these guys play the first 2 weeks, like I think this is a good matchup. Like I think we might see a grueler here. Obviously, next whoever wins the round goes and plays LA Thieves next. I mean, if we see like a FaZe Thieves, maybe I think that could be pretty cool. I mean, either of these teams that go through, I think it'll be a good matchup in that round 2. But what do you guys think is gonna happen here? I'm hoping that FaZe can find their confidence in.
I think FaZe wins this.
You think FaZe wins it, Sam? Well, why is that?
Yeah, I think they utilize the break well. I think they know the situation they're in. I think they understand that they need to get better and they need to get better quickly. And I just think that it goes well for them. So I think that I can not comfortably pick them against Miami, but I think they'll come out with a better showing, especially in like a tournament format. I think they'll level up.
What about you, Duarte? What are your thoughts looking at the matchup with FaZe and Miami?
I got FaZe. I just have faith in this team coming out and being different. I think Miami have a chance, but they just have a lot to work on, and I just feel like they are the lesser talented team. Sucks though, because I do like the Miami team. I just sucks they didn't get a better draw here.
Mm-hmm. And then who do we Ben? What about you? What do you think about this matchup?
I mean,
You
both
favoring
teams.
FaZe or Miami here? I'm probably favoring FaZe as well, but I'm a little biased.
Both teams S&D has been pretty iffy, and it's like, who do I trust more to improve on search? And to Sam's point, like these guys usually utilize time after their valley to get back to their peak. And so I trust FaZe more than Miami to clean up.
Yeah, and then at the bottom we have Minnesota ROKKR going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas Genomates. I'm gonna be honest, I probably have ROKKR in that one just because LAG hasn't been able to get a W on the board. But on the flip side, LAG's got good players, and you know that these guys want to get a win on the board. I mean, I just can't keep saying this though. They have to get a win, right? I mean, they're due, and I'm waiting for these guys to solidify one. I think this would be a massive win for them if they can win this first round. Because they gotta start swaying some momentum or something. Like they gotta start kicking up. I think pretty soon here too. If a lot of these teams continue to struggle, especially post Major 1, I think we're gonna already start talking about roster changes. And if some of these teams aren't talking about roster changes, I think that's gonna be a problem. Because I think some of these guys are gonna dig themselves a hole. So for Minnesota ROKKR versus LAG, personally, I'm leaning towards ROKKR just because I think they've looked better over the last 2 weeks. I just think their pace on the map is just better than LAG. I think what they want to do on the map, I think they look more calculated. And obviously, just looking at Minnesota ROKKR going up against the top teams, like it looks like they just are a little bit more better. They're just better than LAG, in my opinion. I think they're just better. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that take. Do you guys think LAG is going to take this one against ROKKR? Do you guys agree with me on that? ROKKR looks stronger.
Well, it's a rematch, is it not? From literally like the first day of matches.
Yeah, it was a rematch.
Yeah, but I think ROKKR has a little bit more slay heavy. They got a little bit more slaying potential, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do.
So hard.
It really depends. Like, dude, Kismet's gonna have to fucking fry this series. I feel like
He's
for them
been
to
fried,
win.
and he was fried, and they still haven't won.
He's been frying, but he's gonna have to keep that up, and everyone else is gonna have to step up around him, bro. This series, I'm actually just curious how like LAG is gonna be looking in HP because they're gonna need to take HP off Minnesota and to win this shit.
Bro,
Their HP's been terrible, bro.
right, Sam.
The hard points are going to be really important in the series. I just wanted to echo Chris's point. I think LAG, depending on what the control map pool looks like in the Hasi situation, I think that they're a very good control team right now. So I would favor them in the game 3. But I think it's just depending on how this series starts. I think whoever takes map 1 builds a little bit of momentum. I think is going to capitalize.
Is this organized by like so ROKKR's a higher seed? Yeah, it's organized by seed, right? And so since it's a tournament, it's organized by seed. That means the higher seeded team is going to be able to. Oh, well, Hasi's going to be in probably for
So
control,
Team
right?
B cheese isn't like the
Yeah,
not as
I
important.
was gonna say, are they just gonna be able to like pick Vol or like insta pick protocol? I was like, that might play a factor into it, but never mind.
You guys are worried about the hard points in this series, but just like the stat I gave you about ROKKR, LAG 1-1 in Vault S&D. They played 4 other maps on the other 3. What do you think their record is?
0.
I'm gonna assume
And
it's
4. So just like with the situation, you know, LAG's got to figure out a way to find.
LAG's won
Better
one
than-
hard point though too,
They've won 2.
right?
I
Okay,
believe.
2. Did they
Yeah,
win 2? Okay.
On Skyline only, so they're actually
Yeah,
1-4
Skyline,
and
that's the
Rewind
one
and
map.
Vault.
I mean,
They have
one
not played
map, yeah.
Protocol at all. So tiny map pool for LAG. And to your point, Minnesota ROKKR, because they're a higher seed, can really decide if they want to go Team A, get early momentum in this series, go B, chance you won that first map, get the S&D you want because you know there's a weak map pool situation. Potentially for LAG, maybe you go up 2-0 and close out on the
Wait,
control.
you said the record on Volt Control specifically is 1-1 LAG?
No, Vol S&D.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Volt Control. Because Volt Control, haven't they looked good in Volt Control?
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, I know we've critiqued the way they've played the map, but they are winning the map. So maybe they know something we don't.
I got an insider source to that also, Tom.
Did you?
Apparently, they know what they're doing over there.
They know what they're doing. Yeah,
They know what they're doing over there.
Listen,
Oh, well,
hey.
when we've been criticizing their P4 play, they might be
yeah,
cooking.
no, you can
I had
go
an insider source laid
P4.
out.
You just have to get out of there when you get kills. Like either pinch the back and push it out or collapse on hill. I mean, I just don't think people should stay there. I'm guessing that they're just giving them the back art spawn and the guy P4 can shoot on the cross. Like he can just pick up the cross and put bullets into everybody and like pick up kills. But that's the only really thing I could think of. Sam, can you not say what the insider source said? You don't want to give away their strategy?
I can't be giving that away, Tom. I got to hold that one. Sorry
All right.
for Benjay in the chat.
No,
but
you
Tom,
hold
can
that one in.
I quickly circle back just a little bit here, Chris, to this AB point? I just had Turtle send me a stat. 21 of the 22 teams so far have chosen Team B. They are 12-11. So Team B, we thought obviously would be the preferred pick, but it hasn't exactly translated.
okay, I think
more
that is
than
a
50-50
misleading. I
split.
think that stat is extremely misleading.
In what way?
I think that Team B was OP, but I think that the talent within the league and the team's like disparity and difference so far is creating even series. But I think that Team B advantage was absolutely insane.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go with that. So
Yeah, I think that the team just couldn't close with their advantage.
And just
Oh, yeah,
you
man.
know, trying to help Sam out here. You know, his camera's a little fucked up. I definitely want to take any thoughts on the bracket before we move on to fantasy.
do you want to see the
map?
you want to see the order of the matches? They actually had the schedule already.
Yeah, I actually have the schedule up here. I'll pull it up. Or I think the colleague tweeted it out, right?
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got it. We start things off. We got ROKKR versus LAG first. So we got Miami versus Atlanta FaZe, then Optic Vegas, and then Vancouver Cloud9. We'll go through predictions. I'm gonna go Minnesota ROKKR in the first series, Atlanta FaZe in the second one, Optic in the third, and I'm going with Cloud9 in the fourth series. I'm gonna go with Cloud9. Who do you got, Pat?
Cloud9.
Well, what about the other three series, Pat?
Yeah, going backwards.
Okay.
Optic.
Okay.
It'll be a close one though.
Really?
FaZe.
Wait, you think it's gonna be a close one?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, really? Why?
I think Kicks is gonna is gonna have his way.
Okay.
Just say that.
All right. What about the next one?
And then FaZe ZooMaa.
What about you, Chris?
ROKKR, FaZe, Optic, Cloud9.
Okay. So same as me.
Yeah.
Sam.
LAG, FaZe, Optic, C9.
Okay. And Benjay.
LAG, FaZe, Optic in Vancouver.
Why Vancouver, Ben? Why you going with Vancouver?
I'm just trying to zig everybody's zag, and y'all see with Cloud9, but I'm just a
what?
little
You try
worried.
to what?
Big everybody's Zach.
Wherever he's zagging, I'm trying to zig. Like y'all are high on Cloud9. I don't know, man. This AR duo really worries me. And I just think
Cloud9. I'm low in Vancouver.
I think Abuz is going to come different after this break. I think he's going to lock back in. Maybe the Boozer we know in Vancouver will take advantage of what I perceive as a pretty big weakness in the chemistry on Cloud9 at the moment.
We can take a look here at fantasy right now.
Yeah,
I know,
Tom, let's take a look at
maybe-
fantasy, Tom.
You're about to break down when you look at this.
Sam. First of all, okay, let me say something. Okay,
That's a tough L.
this was close. This was
Hey,
a
no,
battle.
scroll down. See how you lost.
I never
scroll
worried
down.
for a
Scroll down.
second.
Scroll down like hard point damage.
I
You
lost 'cause
You
S&D.
lost by 100. No, scroll up. It's the second one down. On top.
The fuck are you talking?
Wasn't worried.
See how much you
for
lost
a
by.
second.
No, down. So Sam had 32K, 3.2K damage per 10. You had 3.1. You lost by 100K.
Listen.
100
I'm tired of
damage.
this.
What the fuck?
I'm tired of this. Listen to me. I'm tired of Street saying I'm not an S&D star. Look at me now. I'm sweeping that bitch.
Okay, listen.
Sweeping it.
Draza's costing me right now, bro. Hard, bro. He's costing me hard. If he would have just did like okay, I would have been golden. I would have been through. I think my first pick.
6'5", inch or a mile. How's that saying go? Shit.
Yeah, it's not about
2-0.
when to win.
2-0.
Yeah, nah, definitely a rough one for me. I will say it was a battle though. Kleenex and Real are carrying
Nah, it
my
was actually
fantasy
close.
right now.
I was sweating.
Kleenex and Real are carrying my fantasy right now. They're carrying. I mean, they're going fucking insane. But yeah, Draza
I have to hit the
definitely.
wire for P-Dog.
Wait, so you're telling me that if I just got 100 more damage in hardpoint, I would have been victorious here, Benjay?
On average, yes, correct.
On average, yeah.
Well, this is fucking bullshit. I'm fucking pissed off.
Welcome to fantasy, Tom. This is how it goes, baby. You lose by
Kason,
fucking
ladies and
margins.
gentlemen, still doesn't have a team on a starting roster. Kason
No,
is...
wait. Kason was trying to cry baby cheese easy back, bro.
He really
He said he
earlier.
was calling to get the week 1 result reverted based on how his
clean.
players
And,
did.
no, he also said Kason said they didn't retroactively fix his lineup this week, and last week he was just going to quit.
So he's
Which I thought
quitting
was
now?
I thought was insane crybaby cheese out of him on
Kason's
another
quitting.
level.
That's an easy dub.
So he's forfeiting?
Good shit, Pat. You're fine.
Yeah, basically is what he said.
That's an easy dub for all of us. Duarte, you're matching up against Porter, and Jesus, fuck, Porter.
I
He's
mean,
Pred,
bro,
bro.
Pred
He's
tore his
Pred.
ACL. What do you
Pred
want
tore
him to
his
do?
ACL. AG's
Pred's out
obviously
for the
not in
season. He
there.
tore his ACL, bro.
do you
Dude,
want
Porter,
to do?
you're going to have to make
And-
some changes, brother, because Jesus. I think rosters are unlocked tomorrow, right? Sometime tomorrow.
Correct.
Which, hey, listen, we have to get clarification on when these rosters, because the Nub is making trades when I didn't even know we could make trades. You know,
Well, you should go look at the Nubs fucking score this week because I don't think Nubby Roseman exactly cooked.
Let's take a look at Team Nubler going up against Need a Raise, please.
after-
Jesus fucking Christ.
Guy
man.
thought he was Nubby Roseman from last year, and he thought it was the Eagles in the beginning of the season, but I fear it's the Eagles at the end of the
It's
season last
Gersh.
year.
It's social media manager Gersh.
Wait, he went from Pokemon Dinner Crew to Need Raise, please.
Yeah. This guy's insane, bro. Hey, Nub got 1 on the board. He got 1 point on the board
What
there.
was that control Yeah, good work, Nub.
Yeah, good job, Nub. Good job. I mean, he was really high
Nub.
on some of these
Nub.
pickups. I mean, Nub does have a good team, but definitely they didn't show out for him in the stats department.
That 4th round slasher pick out of Gersh might be the steal of the draft so far.
And then we got Team Benjay against Team Colt Havoc. Colt getting demolished here from Benjay. Benjay, how you feeling after this, man? Looking good, man. You beat him in every category except for control.
Yeah, I'm feeling great about my team. Obviously, Sim stepping up really kind of helps, but we got a pretty good contribution from 04 and Rencor these 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to moving forward with the squad.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
I probably should have taken Rail over 04, but whatever, man. It is what it is.
I got a easy W coming up next week against
Oh,
K-Sun,
shit.
so I'll take that win. Absolutely. Nobody tell him to put his roster up, all right? Just nobody tell him. Hopefully he's not watching. All right, that should be a free dub there.
Crybaby cheesing Easy Mac, man.
And then, of course, Porter is playing Sam LaRue. Porter's going to have to make a
Taking him
change
down,
with
bro.
AG. He's going to have to
Taking
make a
him
change.
down.
Sam, I'm feeling pretty confident for you in
Hey,
that
listen,
one.
Snoop is on the wire. Porter, if he's watching, bro, that's free moves right there.
Damn. So and he's got Dante, who's been struggling. Insight doesn't really get a lot of interactions. Porter's team's
Dante
looking
had a
rough
concussion
right now.
for the first week, bro. It's
Yeah,
not his fault. He was in protocol for the first week. He didn't get a chance to play.
Who was it? Pat, you're going up against Gersh next week. How do you feel going up against Gersh, Pat?
Let me see his
Easy
win.
He's got Scrap, Kismet, Nero, and Slash. That's a good team, man.
Gersh got a good team.
Gersh got a good squad.
Yeah, he has-
all
Bulldog's been
all of
playing.
his
Nero's
players are
Rocker's best
fried
player.
right now. Yeah,
Here's the thing, though.
crazy.
He had a good first 2-week team, but I think I'm primed for the next couple. You know?
I think Meadows turned up this weekend. I think Meadows turned up for you, Pat. I think he might be a good shout for you. Who else is playing? We got that one, and then we got Team Benjay versus Team Duarte.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, it's a
man.
grueler. It's an absolute grueler.
Chat, whose team are you favoring here? We got Celium, Jodis Eves, TJ, and Attach on Parasite
Oh, I'm
side.
on Team Parasite.
We got Simp, 04, ROKKR, and Kicks on Benjay's side. I think I'm
Team
leading.
Parasite.
Yeah, I
Bro,
think,
I need Dylan to do something, dog. This guy is hot. Yo, I love Dylan, but like, yo, he needs to do something for sure.
you need him to
Otherwise,
turn
I'm
up for you,
cooked.
Duarte. You need him to turn up.
The only concern on my team is that obviously Rencor and Sim play each other, so one of them's getting eliminated early, and Vancouver and Vegas have tough matchups. So I don't know
This
if all my
guy's got
teams are
the
getting out of the
kicks.
first
This
round.
guy's got the kick stat pad.
I need
bro,
him to, I need what I need to happen is if they're just eliminated, I need that one player to just fucking cook. And
Where-
that's my average.
So these are all the players that are still here. So starting sometime tomorrow, we should be able to make some changes and make some
12
trades.
Eastern tomorrow.
I fear I will not be making any changes.
bro,
we
I
have-
might swap out Attach for fucking Wake, bro. No
Wake is on that
bullshit.
wire, brother. You better beat me there because I'm literally fucking streaming my second AR. So you better be up.
Streaming
Wait,
my
what
second
time-
AR
what
is
time-
Bro,
what time
the
is it?
second AR
Wait,
is
is it
literally the
12
tight
East?
end
Is-
spot. I'm
Wait, is it
streaming
12
my second AR.
Wait, is it 12 East today? Like tomorrow? Well, technically Monday.
Tomorrow.
Like 12 East tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 12 Eastern,
Yeah,
12
yeah.
p.m.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna
You
ease
better
back
be
on
there
Twitter right
alarm
now.
set, brother, because I'm on that bitch on the dot.
Yeah, I don't really
you're
know
on
what to do
early,
with my
bro.
squad,
I'm
man. To be
cooked.
honest,
I'm dropping his teammate for his teammate. Hold
Wait,
that.
wait,
What
wait, who you
happens if we
dropping?
all
You
want
can't have
Big
his
Wake?
teammate.
Who gets him? What if we all want the same guy? Is it
Whoever's
just-
got a quicker PC, bro.
Wait,
Nah,
are you
that's
dropping
insane.
Cammy?
Yeah.
Wait, why? I thought Cammy was doing
Don't
fine.
worry
no?
about it. Don't worry about it.
dropping
I'm streaming
Cammy?
I'm streaming my second AR, bro. Don't worry about it.
You're dropping Cammy?
Don't worry
Honestly,
about it, Pat.
honestly,
Let's
even if
talk.
you drop
Let's talk.
Cammy, I'm
Let's
like,
talk. Who you got, Pat?
I got Ghost.
Ooh, trade.
Ghosty and Kenny. You want Cammy?
Listen, bro. I'm just listen, bro.
Yeah, I'll
Don't
take
worry
Kenny
about
for
it.
Cam.
Let me think about it.
Yeah, I'll take Kenny and Kenny for Cam. Yeah, slot him over.
There might be some
Oh
trades
shit!
going down.
Blockbuster.
There might be some trades going down, ladies
I'll
and
take it.
gentlemen. But Benjay, why don't you sync us out with a poll? We had a
Yeah.
good 2 weeks. Appreciate everybody who's been locked in with us, man. I'm excited to get the next few set of matches. Maybe obviously got the minor tournament coming up, so we got a lot of fun matches coming up, man. It's gonna be a good time. As always, man, just appreciate everybody who's been locked in, man. All the energy and the watch parties, the shows. You guys have been insane. It's been a great couple weeks, man. I think we've had some good matchups. And like Chris said in the beginning of the show, it's been really cool to see how close some of these teams are. It's not really seeming as top heavy as it was last year. I thought for a second it was going to be even more top heavy this year, but after the first 2 weeks, I think I changed my mind on that. Would you guys agree on that?
So far, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so far.
the roster construction, I want to give, listen, bro, I want to give a fucking round of applause to all the CDL organizations out there, other than maybe Falcons. Bro, everybody put together rosters that are not complete and utter shit thus far. All the mid-pack matchups have been very entertaining, and I think so far they did a good job.
Only took you 5 years.
It only took them
Well
5
done.
years.
Ben,
But
you
everybody
good
did
over
good
there,
so
bro?
far.
Fuck, man.
I get the camera to line up.
The hell's going on with this guy? Turn your monitor or something. I can't even see the hole. We can't see the fucking hole. Oh, there we go.
I can't
Move
see
your
Benjay's
microphone.
hole.
Move your microphone, bro. Oh, jeez, what is this guy doing?
Oh my god, I just saw Ben ass crack,
Oh,
bro.
man.
No.
I just saw Ben
I saw
ass
Haggy
crack,
crack
bro.
10 years ago. Now I'm seeing Ben J crack, man.
Jesus Christ, man. What's wrong with this guy? Ladies and gentlemen, get your channel point predictions in the chat. Let's take a look here. We got about 16 million channel points on Benjay sinking the putt. We have about 8 million on him missing the putt. I don't know what. Is he okay? Is he good over there, bro? What's this guy
I
smoking?
think he was
the putt?
moving the mat.
What's wrong with this guy? Benji Nassim getting ready to hit this putt, step it up to the green, lining it up. I don't know if he's got his slippies on, but he sinks the putt. It was a close one. I thought he was going to miss it for a second, But Benjay
I rattled that one in.
That was
rattled
close,
that one in.
Benjay, that was close, brother.
That was sketchy. Like LA Thieves hard point this week.
Oh, Jesus. My bad, Sam. Sam, any comment?
But no, man, FaZe looked really good.
Sketchy.
FaZe asked for a perfect weekend.
Oh, my bad.
But hey, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for tuning in these first couple of weeks. Super excited to get into it. As always, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Go to anchor.fm/The Flank. Check out audio sites of Ron. And go follow at The Flank. Gert's doing a phenomenal job running social per usual. ZooMaa.gg for the merch. And as always, guys, take care. Brush your hair. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy. Slowly.
And your team sucks. Fantasy team's ass.
Slowly.
Fuck you.